Bismillah.
In the name of God the Merciful, the Compassionate, Mr. Antonio Costa, President of the European Council, Madam Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, distinguished guests, allow me to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to our European partners for the warm welcome and generous hospitality since my arrival in Brussels. Today, just months after our strategic and comprehensive partnership entered its second year, we gather today to reap the fruits of this elevated relationship and to push it forward towards realizing aspirations of our peoples and confronting the immense challenges facing our shared geographic neighborhoods and the world at large. The Egypt-EU summit today holds special significance for several reasons. First, it is the first of its kind to be held between the EU and one of its partners from the southern Mediterranean or the Middle East. Second, because it comes at a time of great regional and international complexity on the regional side, but also on the international scene. That reflects the priority both that is given to Egypt and EU for consolidating their partnership. We spoke about our consultation, coordination on shared political, security and economic challenges across the Mediterranean. We also explored new horizons for expanding economic and developmental cooperation between Egypt and the EU member states. Mr. Costa, Madam von der Leyen, this relationship between Egypt and the EU is not new. It is deeply rooted in history and geography and bound by shared interests. The EU is Egypt's leading trade partner and a principal supporter of our sustainable development and modernization programs. Egypt, in turn, serves as a secure gateway and a vital bridge for Europe to the Arab and African worlds, a reliable partner for receiving European investments and contributing to European production chains, especially in a time of global economic uncertainty and volatility. From this perspective, our meetings today gave special attention to elevating the level of cooperation in the economic and investment spheres, with a particular focus on investing in human capital, which is one of the most important pillars of our strategic partnership, as well as identifying new opportunities and areas for collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, today's summit also provided a valuable opportunity to exchange views on many of the challenges and crises affecting the Middle East and the European continent. I had the chance to brief European leaders on Egypt's intensive efforts, driven by its historical responsibility and regional role, to achieve a comprehensive and sustainable ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Based on the peace plan proposed by President Donald Trump, these efforts culminated in a historic moment with the signing of the President Trump Declaration for Sustainable Peace and Prosperity in Sharm el-Sheikh on the 13th of October, with the participation of President Costa and numerous leaders from the EU and around the world. I take this opportunity to affirm that this achievement is indeed a milestone, but at the same time, it is a path or a step within a broader path aimed at creating the conditions for resuming a just and comprehensive peace process based on the two-state solution and the establishment of an independent Palestinian state along the June 4th, 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. The first step on this path is reconstruction. And from this platform, I'm pleased to express Egypt's anticipation of active participation from EU countries and institutions in the upcoming conference on early recovery, reconstruction and development in Gaza, which is to be hosted in the second half of November 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, our discussions also addressed the situation in brotherly Sudan. I reaffirmed the European leaders' Egypt's determination based on historical ties and a shared destiny to continue its intensive efforts to achieve a ceasefire. We look forward to working with the Quartet and coordinating with the EU to declare an immediate and comprehensive humanitarian truce that ends the ongoing suffering of the Sudanese people. I also expressed Egypt's desire to work with European partners to preserve Sudan's unity, safeguard its state institution, and prevent its descent into chaos and division. We also discussed the situation in Libya, where I reiterated Egypt's position in favor of sustainable stability, which is essential for the security of the entire Mediterranean region. I expressed the full commitment and support of Egypt to the efforts to reach a comprehensive political settlement led and owned by Libyans, one that ends division, reunifies state institutions, and paves the way for free elections that reflect the will of the Libyan people. I also reaffirmed the need for all foreign forces and mercenaries to withdraw from Libyan territory to preserve its sovereignty and territorial integrity. We also addressed the issue of illegal migration, a shared challenge facing both shores of the Mediterranean. This phenomenon cannot be resolved without a comprehensive approach that addresses its roots, causes, not just its symptoms. In that vein, Egypt believes the solution lies in prompting sustainable economic and social development, political and security stability, and creating sufficient jobs and vocational training opportunities, laying the foundation for lasting solutions to this issue. In this regard, I affirm that Egypt plays a vital role in preventing illegal migration. We stop the departure of any boat from Egyptian coasts as from September 2016. And Egypt, at this time, hosts more than 9.5 million foreigners who have arrived to Egypt fleeing from crises in their home countries. They receive the same treatment and access to services as Egyptian citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also express Egypt's deep appreciation for today's signing of the agreement for Egypt's accession to the Horizon Europe program. We look forward to this being a launchpad for enhanced cooperation between Egypt and the EU in higher education, scientific research and innovation. It is an investment in the future of current and future generations and an opportunity to build enduring bridges of exchange between the peoples in the northern and southern Mediterranean. President Costa, President von der Leyen, and I address also friendly peoples of Europe. We share many historical ties and common interests. What we aspire to is a future of greater stability and prosperity for our coming generations, a future built on justice, peace, integration, and mutual respect, and founded on a balanced partnership that serves both sides' interests. Therefore, I invite you all to make this summit a launching point for a new phase of joint action, one that strengthens peace and development and establishes Egypt-EU relations as a model for cooperation across the Mediterranean. Thank you very much indeed.